So we mentioned you just like Hashem is called by the full letter name of Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei, which is hinting to Haya past, present, and future. And then Haya in the past is like he was before creation, and after, and Hove is during the process of creation, and Iyeh, which is in the future tense, means what will be when the world will go back to its original state. We said that the world became something from nothing, and the end of the world is really to go back to nothing. So the world started from nothing, which means there's no receiver, there's no one to receive from Hashem a revelation of Hashem's power, this is a revelation of Hashem's attributes. And once there is someone who feels himself an independent existence, which this is whether we're talking about the spiritual world or the physical world, then once they exist and feel themselves an independent existence, their purpose is to return to this level of nullification to Hashem, and the total state of that, or the fulfillment of that, is in the future, which is after the coming of Mashiach, and after the world to come, etc. And that point is hinted to as Iyeh. And again, the point here is that if it wasn't for the creation of the world, then there wouldn't be possible to reveal Hashem's powers, to reveal Hashem's goodness. There would be anyone to receive Hashem's goodness. Again, this is only asking now that there's a world, what's its purpose? It's not asking really why Hashem created the world, because why Hashem did something we have no answer for, even though that's Chaim's asking in that sense. ואם לא נבראו העולמות, כולם העליונים והתחתונים רוחניים וגשמיים וכל אשר בהם, and if all the worlds were not created, whether the supernal world, the spiritual world, or the physical lower world, וכל אשר בהם, and everything that's in them, שהם בני האדם, מבחר הנבראים ושאר היצורים, which is man, which is the selected, the best of all the created, לא יוכל אין סוף ברוך הוא להראות בפועל אמיתא סורת הווייתו יתברך הנצחית בעבר ובהווה ובעתיד. And the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, the no end, would not be able to show practically the true existence or the true manifestation of His ability to bring into creation and its eternal existence in the past, present, and future. Because of that attribute, that aspect of Hashem, that's why we call him Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei, call him Habai. It wouldn't be able to be, it wouldn't be called by the created as Hashem, as Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei. כיוון שכל מה שיכול להיקרא בשם הוויה הוא רק לפי שיש לה נקודת התחלה ונקודת סיום של הבריאה, שלהם התייחסו התארים דהיה וביו כנ"ל. Because again, that name means that there is a point of beginning and a point of end, or really, which doesn't mean end of creation, really means end of a process, even if it's cyclical, even if it's starting again, etc. But the point is that just the very fact that there is a process, is the fact that there is a manifestation, a bringing from potential to actuality that needs to actually be manifested practically, whether it's practical manifestation of spiritual world, whether it's manifestation of physical world, it needs to be for it to be said to exist. Hashem exists without the world. Obviously, He's the place of the world is not His place. But for us to be able to see it, for someone else to be able to see it, and be able to see His manifestation, for that you need to create an independent existence, so to speak, or at least an existence that feels itself independent. And say also the other name of Hashem, which is Aleph Daled Nun Yud, Adni, obviously pronounced it differently, is called because of His lordship, His master. Shehu Hayot Lo Avadim Livrei B'Pol. So since He has servants, real servants, whether again talking about the servants in the spiritual world of Atzilut, Bria, Yitzira, or whether we're speaking about servants in this world, which is man, V'Hu Adon Alehem, and He's their master. And if He did not have created beings that will serve Him, so He, so to speak, would not be able to be practically called a master. And similarly regarding all the other names. even though they will exist in potential, all of these names of Hashem, whether it's Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei, whether it's Shem Adni, whether it's Shem Kel, Shem Elokim, Shem Shekai, Shem Tzvokos, whatever these names, they all exist to Koyach, obviously. Not only that, we know that they're hinting to very, very high levels in the Sfirot of Atzilut and even higher. But they would only exist in power, in potential. They would not exist in actuality. If it wasn't for the fact that there would be created beings that would refer to these names. Again, if you have a name and nobody knows, nobody calls you by that name, or there's no one else to call you by that name, so do you really have a name? Yes, you still have a name, but it's in potential. It's not executed. And this thing is only manifested through creation. Until here, she's only speaking about Hashem's names, like Yud Kei Vav Kei Adnei itself. This also refers to Hashem's attributes, or Hashem's, I guess the word is nicknames, but it says here Kinuyim. Kinuyim is another name. It's really a name to a name. Just like a name is a pointer to something, my name is a pointer to me, a Kinui is a pointer to my name. So Hashem has other Kinuyim, other names, such as merciful, forgiver, Erech Apayim really means long face, but it means taking long before taking retribution. Shem Etarim et Midotav Yitbarach, Ech Shemitneheg K'lepei Poav, which is, again, all these different titles are describing Hashem's attributes, how He behaves with His created beings. Because He wouldn't practically, in a practical, real, manifested way, wouldn't be able to be called upon them, or be called these names. If there weren't created beings in this world, they would call Him, long to retribute. Which means He has mercy on them and He forgives their sins. All this stuff to be manifested practically means there needs to be someone that sins, someone that needs or solicits this attribute of mercy. With these attributes of revelation of Hashem's manners, so to speak, of behavior, manner of performance, of actions. And again, these are all within the structure that Hashem created with the world. He could have created the world any way He wanted, and He chose to create it this way. And similarly, in all the other titles, all the other names are referred to Hashem. Now that the world exists, now you're manifested all the actions and all the powers that Hashem has in actuality. Now the world is created, now He's guiding the world and He's leading the world every second, every moment of the creation. It's called complete, practically, in all of His actions and all of His powers. Also is complete in all the names and all the titles without any lacking. God forbid.